This is the Louie Tee Network.
Who else could it be? Me, your me, Louie Tee. Welcome to lockdown coverage, week number 8 in the National Football League. Detroit Lions, hot team right now. Winners of 3 in a row, taking on the Houston Texans. Coming into this game off of a tough road loss. Both teams coming into this game at 4-3. The winner would go to 5-3 and be playing some outstanding football. Texas looking to remain atop the AFC South with a win. A loss would bring them down to a tie with the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, if you're the Detroit Lions after the 1-3 start, to be at 5-3 at the midpoint of the season with a chance to still have your eye on the division crown, pretty damn impressive, if I may say so myself. So a lot on the line for the Lions in this game as well. So before we get to this breakdown, want to first welcome all of you to the Louie Tee Network. For those of you who aren't subscribers already, what are you waiting on? Subscribe to the Louie Tee Network for more great content in 2016 and beyond. We're changing the game over here. I want you to help us do that by hitting the subscription button and becoming a part of the movement. Louie Tee Network on YouTube. Subscribe. Also, I'm on Twitter. @InTheLabRoom is the Twitter handle. If you're watching this live and you're on Twitter and you want to have your comment read at the end of this breakdown, simply use the hashtag #LouieTLive to have that done. Also, if you're watching this and you're in the YouTube discussion chat room, use the hashtag #LouieTLive to have your comment read as well at the very end of this breakdown. Also, I am on Facebook. In the Lab Room is the Facebook page. Go ahead and give me that thumbs up. Go ahead and like the page. A lot of interesting things that I'm thinking about doing with Facebook. Want you to be ahead of the curve. Go ahead and make that happen by liking the Facebook page now. So with that being said, let's jump into this breakdown. Likes, dislikes, banana in the tailpipe with these two football teams. You start with the road team and their likes, as we customarily do on this program, and that would be the Detroit Lions in this game. And Andre Roberts as a returner, man, he's been a really good find for the Atlanta Falcons, for the Detroit Lions. Didn't really expect much from him in any capacity. Catching the football as a receiver, to me, he's an afterthought as a receiver. But I didn't expect them to get as much as they did in terms of mileage out of him as a returner. And he's been dynamic for them. A couple of big returns in this game, almost popped one. And when they needed one late, remember late in that game when they lost to Chicago, he gets the huge return that gives them life in that game when they were lifeless. He did it again in this game, down 20-10 late. Looks like they're going to lose this game. He breaks off a huge return, sets up an opportunity for them to get the score down to a one-possession game. They do that with a couple of plays and get into field goal range. And so Andre Roberts has been a huge get for this Lions football team as a returner. Johnson Batamosi, my favorite name in the National Football League right now. Johnson Batamosi. Love saying that. I don't like the fact that his first name is a last name. That's not cool, but it's all good. Johnson Batamosi with the interception right before halftime. Texans were going to get more points there. And if they go up 3 scores before halftime, this game might be over with the way their defense is playing. Huge interception by Johnson Batamosi. I probably could say that 5 more times if I wanted to, but I'm going to stop now. That was a big turnover. At that point in the game, Texans up 14-0, looking for more. And not only do they take 3 points off the scoreboard with that interception by Johnson Batamosi, but the Lions then take the football with 3 timeouts and move it down the field and get in the field goal range and get a field goal of their own. So you're talking about a 6-point swing with that interception, possibly upwards of 10 points. Because who knows if the Texans are going to get into the end zone or not before the half. They weren't that far out. So that's a big play by Johnson Batamosi and the Detroit Lions for taking that turnover and turning it into points. Big play there. You go to the Texans in their first half lights. C.J. Fedorowicz. I keep seeing C.J. Fedorowicz, and it seems like he's Brock Osweiler's favorite target right now. And we all know, outside of the running game, the quarterback's best friend and security blanket is the tight end. And C.J. Fedorowicz seems to be somewhat of a comforting target for Brock Osweiler when he gets into trouble, when he's looking to make a play down the field. We saw it 3 weeks ago in that come-from-behind win versus the Indianapolis Colts. C.J. Fedorowicz was in the middle of that. He made a bunch of huge plays, including the touchdown grab to tie the game up to send it into overtime. He's a guy that Brock Osweiler is very comfortable throwing the football to. You saw it again in this game. Took a vicious shot, left the game temporarily, did come back and make his presence felt. C.J. Fedorowicz is a guy that has turned into a huge strength for this Texas football team, scoring the first touchdown of the game for the Texans. C.J. Fedorowicz is a guy that is getting involved in this Texans offense with Brock Osweiler at the quarterback position. Texas defense, thought the pressure was really good by the Texans. To me, they really made Matthew Stafford uncomfortable. Stafford can move, but they didn't allow him to scramble. And that's where a lot of teams go wrong with Matthew Stafford, containing him, allowing him out of the pocket. Same thing you got to do with Aaron Rodgers. You got to keep these mobile quarterbacks from getting outside the pocket and creating with their legs. And I thought the Texans did a really good job of kind of bottling him up. He tried to run one way, a Texan defender would flash, he'd go back the other way, here's another Texan. Then he had to force it down the field somewhere. He was never really comfortable in this game, and that's why they didn't score a ton of points in this game, and that's why they never really got into an offensive rhythm, because I thought the Texans did a really good job. They didn't have a ton of sacks in this game, but they had a ton of pressure, and that sometimes pressure is just as good as sacks if it is done correctly. Nuke is special, and again, his numbers aren't eye-popping. They won't jump off the screen and grab you. 4 catches, 44 yards, no touchdowns. But if you watch this game and you saw some of the amazing catches he made, had a one-handed grab in traffic down to the 1-yard line that set up a Lamar Miller 1-yard touchdown run. Had another catch where he's coming out of the break and Brock Osweiler lets it go before he comes out of his break. He turns around and the football is on him immediately, where he turns around, stops the football, then has to do this bobble job with it, and finally corrals it before one of the Lions comes and tries to dislodge it. He made some really good catches. And the one catch that I liked the most, those were all great catches. You know the catch I liked the most from him in this game? A slant, which is what I want to see more of. Quick passes that allow these guys that are playmakers, Will Fuller, Braxton Miller, and such, to get their hands on the football. Everything seems to be deep, long developing. I still have issues with the play calling. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. That slant was a sight for sore eyes. That was the most beautiful thing I saw all game long, because it's the simplest thing, yet they don't run it enough and get the ball to Nuke enough in this offense in simple ways. The team they were playing, the Lions, they create simple ways to get the football in the hands of Golden Tate and some of their playmakers, Theo Riddick. They make it very easy. Bubble screen, hitch, slant, come back, stop. I mean, jet sweeps, you name it. They find ways, invent ways, create ways that are simple. Matthew Stafford has the highest percentage of throws at or behind the line of scrimmage in the league this season. You know why? Because they're high percentage throws getting the football in the hands of playmakers and allowing the playmakers to do what they do best, make plays, which is what I don't think they do enough of in Houston. You go to the dislikes in the first half and go back to the Lions in this game. Failed 4th down conversion on the opening possession of the game. I didn't have a problem with the decision to go for it. You're in no man's land, too close to really punt the football and get anything from that. Too far to kick a field goal and feel comfortable in that situation. You don't want to give up field goal, a great field position if you miss this field goal, which would have been probably every bit of 58, 57, 58, 59 yards. No reason to attempt that. So instead, you send your offense or keep them on the field. I just had a problem with the play call. I mean, Stafford looked like he had nowhere to go with the football. You had all your playmakers back. Ebron's out there. Theo Riddick is out there. Golden Tate is out there. Anquan Bolden is out there. Marvin Jones Jr. is out there. Come on, you can't devise a play to get a first down on 4th and 3. I mean, he literally looked lost and then ended up throwing it to Bolden like 15 yards down the field on a one hopper. Come on, man. You need 3 yards. What are we running 18-yard routes for? Everything should have been quick and short. Should have been a quick hitter. Somebody sitting down right at the sticks, maybe right beyond the sticks, and something quick. Not long developing. Didn't make any sense. I didn't like that play call. And again, I didn't see the entire play, but the fact that Stafford wasn't staring something down and getting rid of it quick, that's a problem for me on that play. When you got Theo Riddick in the backfield, do something, devise something, pick play something to get the football out of his hands quickly and pick up the first down. I didn't like the way that play looked on television. The offense. We're going to talk about this offense in depth in the second half, but the offense was a problem in this game. They were inconsistent. They didn't put together many drives. You had all your stuff back. We're going to talk about this in the second half. I'm going to say, just know the offense struggled and was on my dislikes list in the first half. Prater missed field goal. I told you this already. I'm not going to continue to tell you this every week because I've said it enough times to the point where you're probably tired of me saying this. But Matt Prater is going to miss a kick just about every week. But, and I said you need to think about replacing him. But I said because he came to your aid in your deepest and darkest time of need, you're going to stick with Matt Prater. You rather have the devil you know than the devil you don't know. But at some point, you just need to kick the devil out and find someone that can be a real savior for you. He's going to miss kicks. He's inconsistent. Period. End of discussion. I said, look, he's good for about a miss every week. If he kicks 3 field goals, he's good for 2 out of 3. If he kicks 4 field goals, he's good for 3 out of 4. But that's not a great percentage because in this league, kickers kick just about every week. You can't have a guy that's 50-50 on most weeks. It's not going to get it done. So I've already told you this. I'm not going to continue to beat this horse. It's already dead. Sluggish start. You're down 14-0 to a team that has struggled offensively. And your offense hasn't really helped you out by getting the defense off the field. And you're down 14-0 at the halftime break almost until the interception by Johnson Batamosi. So I just thought the start to this game was it was almost ho-humish. Like the Lions expected to just walk into Houston and have them lay down and you guys win the game. I just thought there was no life, no energy to this offense. I thought the defense was okay. It wasn't great. But 14-0 to a Texas team that had been struggling offensively, I'm not with that. You go to the dislikes in the first half for the Texans. Brock Osweiler's interception before the half. Really, the defense was strong. They were pitching a shutout until this interception. The offense had put up 14 points to this point in the game. They had been solid. Your one mistake in the first half was the Brock Osweiler interception to Johnson Batamosi. I think that's 7 times I've said his name now. That interception proved to be costly because not only did it take points off the scoreboard, you were already in Nick Novak field goal range, but the Lions, with 3 timeouts, turned around and spawned that into a field goal of their own, which gave them some points to end the first half and a little bit of momentum. So that Brock Osweiler interception was a big play at the time, taking points off the scoreboard and helping the Lions get some of their own. You go back to the likes. This time we go to the second half and we go back to the Lions. And Theo Riddick is the first like on my likes list. Good to see him back on the football field. He makes a difference. And he scored the lone touchdown of the game for the Lions in this game. And he's so dynamic out of the backfield as a runner, as a pass catcher, more so as a pass catcher than a running back. But make no mistake about it, this guy is dynamic in every sense of the word. And on a 4th and 3, I expect him to be a guy that you're targeting. And I don't even know if he was in the game. Probably was, but I don't think they diagrammed a play for him, which to me is asinine. This guy is a baller. Get him the football. The Lions defense, especially the D-line, on my likes list in the second half. They got consistent pressure on Brock Osweiler, especially in the second half of this game. You saw the rookie out of Alabama, Ashawn Robinson, get a sack. That was all due to pressure from this D-line and him kind of just waiting in the wings and being the beneficiary of pressure, forcing him to step up into a sack. Kyrie Thornton, I want to believe he's the ex-Packers 3rd or 4th round pick that they discarded and the Lions scooped up. This guy's a baller. I've seen him blow some stuff up this year. I saw him get to Brock Osweiler in this game. He seems to always be penetrating. This is a talented football player, I believe out of Southern Miss, that the Packers took, gave up on him too soon, and it looks like the Lions are reaping the benefits right now. He's playing outstanding football. It's Kyrie Thornton up front. This guy looks to be like a menace. And if he continues to play the way that he's playing, and they can get more production out of other guys like A'Shawn Robinson, like Kerry Hyder Jr., who I thought also had another strong performance, and Ziggy Ansah comes along, gets healthy, they could have some stuff up front, man. This Lions front was very meddlesome in this game. They're getting to quarterbacks and making life hell for guys like Brock Osweiler. I thought they did a really good job of that. That's why the Texans only had 2 field goals in the second half of this ball game. Second half likes for the Texans. Running the football late to secure the victory. I didn't think the offense was that great. The defense was fine in the second half. But that last possession when the Lions decided to go onside kick and you recover and there's 2 minutes and 37 seconds left and the Lions have 2 timeouts and you not only force them to use their 2 timeouts before the 2-minute warning, but you pick up 2 huge first downs rushing the football so that by the time you get to the 2-minute warning, you can take 3 knees and get in that victory formation and put this game away. Great job of running the football when it mattered most and putting this game away and not giving the football back to one of the best 2-minute quarterbacks in the league right now in Matthew Stafford. Home cooking is my final like for this Texans team. They're now 5-0 at home. All 5 of their victories on the season coming at home in the comfy confines of NRG Stadium. Look, bottom line is you take care of home in this league, you're going to set yourself up for a great opportunity to make the postseason. And in the division that you're in, not going to take many wins. 9 should be more than enough to win that division. You win all of your home games, go 8-0 at home. You only need to win 1 game on the road to get to 9. Look, the saying is, you take care of home. You go 6-2 at home and 4-4, and you split on the road. That's 10-6. Generally speaking, that's good enough to get you into the show. That's good enough to get a ticket to the dance. Now, I'll say this. Texas right now, as good as they're playing at home, you go 8-0 at home. You just need to win 2 on the road. Doesn't matter which 2, just get 2 on the road. You got Jacksonville on your schedule. You got Tennessee on your schedule. On the road. Go get those. And you're 10-6 on the season if you can just take care of home. So home cooking is excellent right now for the Houston Texans. You go to the dislikes for both teams and you go to the Lions in the second half, and it's the offense. And I talked about the offense briefly in the first half. Let's go ahead and basically break this thing down. I was disappointed in the offense for the Lions in this game because when I look at this Lions football team, I said, okay, all these weeks you've been without Ebron, you've been without Theo Riddick Jr., and you've had all this success offensively, and now you get these guys back in the fold, and you got all these weapons that you've been using, Marvin Jones, Golden Tate, and Anquan Bolden, and even to a certain extent, Andre Roberts. And now you get these guys who are big-time playmakers for you back in the fold, and Theo Riddick and Easy E, Eric Ebron, and all of a sudden, there's crickets on the offensive side of football. This offense, and give some credit to the Texans, that's one of the best defenses, especially through the air, passing the football. That's one of the better defenses in the league. Granted, I understand that. Still, with all these weapons, there's no reason for this offense to look the way that it looked in this game. It was putrid. There was no rhythm, no continuity, no consistency. And you fell behind 14-0 because the offense didn't generate anything in the first half. And in the second half, the Texans were able to keep a sizable distance from the Lions because the offense didn't show up. The defense, anytime you give up 20 points in this league, you're supposed to win. Okay, this is a passing league. 20 points usually enough for you to win a game in this league. Well, Lions didn't put forth enough effort offensively, and they didn't get the job done. They were on my second half dislikes list. The decision to onside kick the football after getting down by 1 score, 20-13, I didn't like it. You got all 3 of your timeouts. Not a fan of going onside kick there with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. How about you kick it deep and you ask your defense, because by kicking it deep, you're going to force the Texans to be conservative. They're going to run it on first down, most likely run it on second down, and if they're in 3rd and long, they may think about They may entertain the thought of throwing it. Most likely, they're going to tell their quarterback, we're going to run a bootleg. If it's open, you throw it. If it's not, you slide, you take the sack, and we're going to force them to use their final timeout. Then you get the football back. By kicking it short, you allow that team to be a little bit more aggressive, and really you put your defense on their heels because they understand now we give up 1 first down despite calling all of our timeouts. We're going to give up a field goal potentially, which will then put us out of this game again. So I just didn't like that decision. I thought Jim Caldwell outsmarted himself. Kick the football deep. If they pick up a first down, then you deserve to lose the football game. But kicking it short, and I understand the premise, the whole I'll go for 2 for 1, give yourself 2 opportunities to possess the football. If you don't get it on the onside kick, but you force a 3 and out, you'll get the football back again. I'm not one to subscribe to that because guess what? Even if you get it back and you still need a touchdown, now you got to go the length of the field without any timeouts, and they're going to push you probably back inside your own 20-yard line because of the field position. If you kick it deep and they got a punt and you don't have any timeouts left, you're going to shorten the field and you're going to have a much better opportunity with no timeouts left in the game to drive 50 or 60 yards instead of having to go 80 or 90 yards for a touchdown without any timeouts. Didn't like that decision. Thought that was poor coaching on the part of Jim Caldwell. Didn't matter anyway. Lions didn't get the stop that they needed to make that relevant anyhow. Inability to stop the run late to get the ball back. Look, defense was probably tired at this point because, frankly, the offense didn't do enough in this game. They didn't sustain offense. That defense was on the field for the majority of this game. And so they were probably tired. That being said, still got to find a way to strap it up, muster whatever strength you got left, whatever energy is left in the tank, and go out there and get a stop. You know they're running on first down, get a stop, force them to be into second and long. You know they're running on second down, they want you to use your timeout, get a stop again. And then you force them to make a TD on third down. Tough decision. Throw it, run it again. What are you going to do? They probably would have ran it 3 times and punted. Instead, you allow them to gut you late. Couple of first downs, game's over. Texans hold on 20-13. You go to the Texans second half dislikes. Corey Moore with a pass interference in the end zone. Hey, buddy. Hey, you. Moore. Look for the ball. Face guarding, never looking, interfering with the receiver. That was an easy call in the end zone. Gives the Lions their only opportunity to score a touchdown on the day, and they take full advantage. Theo Riddick, 1-yard touchdown on the very next snap. Look, you got to find the football, man. Look for the ball. You were in great position. Just find the football. Don't panic. Look for the football. Play calling. I told you I had a gripe with the play calling. I still have a gripe with the play calling. Bottom line is, look, third down and long, don't run the football. This is a passing league. You understand this. I know you do because you're an offensive-minded guy. Maybe you don't trust Brock Osweiler. That's fine. I understand. Then throw a screen. Okay, throw a bubble screen. Throw a screen to the running back out of the backfield. Don't run on 3rd and 9. Don't toss it to Braxton Miller. You're not fooling anybody. He lost 3 yards on that play. Don't run on 3rd and 14. Throw a screen. You got playmakers. Don't give up. 3rd and 4, you barely got that one to Grimes. I'm at a loss of words for the play calling in Houston. They just don't seem to have figured it out yet. That they got playmakers. They got guys that can make plays. Get them the football. Less of Brock Osweiler, more of them. Less of running the football on 3rd and long and giving up, more of them. I'd much rather see Will Fuller with a bubble screen or a slip screen on 3rd and 14 than I would a draw handoff to Grimes on 3rd and 14 or Braxton Miller on a shotgun pitch on 3rd and 9. I'll pass on that. I'd much rather see Braxton Miller in the backfield lined up as a running back than acting as if he's going to block and slipping out for a running back screen. I'd much rather see Braxton Miller lined up in the backfield than motioned out for a wide receiver screen. I'd much rather see that. Anyway, Tyler Irving, muffed punt out of bounds. Don't wave everybody off frantically. Get away, Peter. Then the ball takes a gratuitous bounce to you and you decide, hey, I should pick this up. And then muff it. Don't do that. Don't do that. That could have been catastrophic. Luckily enough for you, you were right near out of bounds. If you're anywhere near the field of play, that's a fumble that most likely the Lions recover. You've done some really questionable stuff, and I like you as a rookie, but you got to tighten up. That was a really, really potentially costly error on your part. Tighten up. You've already fumbled this year before. Don't do it again. So, my banana in the tailpipe for the Detroit Lions in this game is, look, you got to be a better offensive football team. I don't think this is who they are. You get a lot of your guys back. This Texas defense is really good. I get it. I understand. They put pressure on Stafford. They play good defense in the back end. I get it. I understand. But I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe that the Lions offensively are this bad. But they struggled in this game mightily. And I didn't feel like there was an excuse for that because you had all your stuff back. Texans, a banana in the tailpipe. I feel like you need to be better as play callers. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe that these guys are just going to get better. I've seen this from them all season long. I'm convinced that they just don't know what the hell they're doing right now. They don't have a pulse of this team right now as far as what they should call and what they shouldn't offensively. They're lost. And I'm not a fan of what I'm seeing from the Texans right now calling plays. I just think they're lost. George Godsey, Bill O'Brien, right now, they don't know what the hell to do offensively with what they have. And they got an abundance, a dearth of talent. And they're just not utilizing it to their best potential, I don't think. And so I just don't like what I'm seeing from them right now. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe that they'll get better. They'll adjust to the talent that they have. At least not this season they won't. I'm convinced that this is what you're going to get from the Texans moving forward this season. They may not fix it until the offseason. We'll see. If you got a comment, leave that comment in the discussion box using the hashtag LouieTeeLive. I'm going to check Twitter quickly to see if we have any comments there. And then I'll check the live feed to see if there are any comments there. If not, we will move on. Let's see what we got. Probably don't have anything on Twitter because I generally don't. Let's see. Nothing there. Let's check my mentions real quick. Nothing there. And nothing in the chat discussion box. So that's going to do it for Lions at the Texans. Texans get the win. Stay in first place in the division at 5-3. A half game over the Tennessee Titans. Plus, they've beaten the Titans head-to-head. So they've got a good one, maybe a game and a half cushion on the Tennessee Titans. But they still have to play them once more in Tennessee. So that'll be interesting. But Texans, this is their division to lose. If they want this division, it's theirs to lose. They just got to go out and play football. It's there for the taking. It's their division. Take it. Go win the games you're supposed to, and you'll do just fine. Meanwhile, Lions, after winning 3 in a row, dropped this one on the road. They're 4-4 now on the season. They're right in the thick of the things in the wild card hunt. Probably not going to win their division, but we'll see what happens tonight. Monday Night Football, Vikings and Bears. Expect the Vikings to go there and take care of business. That will put them at 6-1 on the season. Most likely, Lions not going to catch up, but they haven't seen the Vikings this season yet. Who knows? They could sweep that season series and all of a sudden be right there in the division race. So we'll see what happens. But this was a tough one to stomach because I didn't think the offense showed up and gave the defense much assistance. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here on Lockdown Coverage. Come back and join your man Louie T. Got one more game to break down from the Sunday games, that being the Broncos and the Chargers. Until then, we're changing the game one live feed at a time. I'll see you a little bit later on. Have a